Hello and welcome to another video in my Web API.NET Basics series of videos. So as always, please go ahead and follow me on GitHub, visit my website, and if you have any questions, you can email me and stuff like that. Right then. So in this, so previously I am looking at my dashboard here right now, and I'm looking at my notes, my dashboard and all that. So in the last 1, 2, 3, 4 videos, in the previous 4 videos from 13 to 16, I showed you how to build a console app, how to build a simple web API, how to consume that web API, in a Razor app and stuff like that. So there we were just collecting data. There was no input component to that. So there was no way for you to give input and based on that collect some output. And also we kind of made, on purpose, I chose something which was automatically generating the data that we want. So I didn't actually create anything. I simply used the NASA APOD service to get my data. Right, so that was on purpose. As I mentioned, these series of videos, I want to keep them short. I want to keep them simple, and slowly, progressively add more and more tiny features, so that you slowly learn the skills. Now, in this one, this is going to be similar to the NASA project, but the difference is this time I will be generating my own data. In the NASA project, the NASA people were giving the data, right? In this case, we'll be generating a response based on the input. So that's another thing I'm doing with this project. So in the previous project, there was no room for any input, not even a simple button or anything. Just you open the API and it gives you the data. That's it. In this project, I'll show you how to go ahead and collect some input, very simple input, number input. It's a simple calculator. All it's going to do is add, subtract, multiply, and divide. And I might even, put in like a, divide by 0 kind of deal. We'll see about that, right? So that is what we are going to do. So in this one, so that's the idea. The purpose is simple: to progressively add a little bit extra knowledge to your learning, which you've been doing so far. So let's get to it. So as always, I have my thing here. I have, I'm maintaining a diary. I mentioned about this in one of my earlier videos. So I do use what is called as a learning diary. So I want to go ahead and use that. This is the one, Web API.NET Basics. This is one I'm using for all the code that I'm developing for the video series. I'm putting it here. Okay. The C# basic stuff is in a separate repository, but this is mainly for the projects that I am building. And I also have the diary here, which keeps getting updated as I'm doing things. So let's get to it. So I'm going to go ahead and clone this. So as always, I'm going to I'm going to clone this to desktop. I don't think I'm going to hit the, what do you call it? Hold on, just create this. Okay, so I don't think I am going to hit the path limit. I don't think I've run into the problem, so I hope that I'll not do that. So let's go ahead and say git clone. Yeah, there we go. That is done. As always, right click, open with VS Code. Right then, so I'm going to trust looks good. I go to the diary, there you go. And what I want to do is I want to use the split window option. So I have that there, and I don't need this right now. So I'm going to make this, let it be like this. It's fine. And today's date, I'm going to add it. So as I mentioned, I am going to be using a learning diary as I'm doing. I think it has really helped me, and my clients, my students who hire me and all that, they have given very positive feedback about this diary system that I follow. So please go ahead, maintain a learning diary. And I use a written diary as well. I always make sure I have a pen. You can see here, I always have a stack of sheets. I don't know if you can see that. There you go. Stack of sheets, always with me, always with me. So writing is so important when you're coding and you're learning things, important. So let's go ahead and add today's diary here. Okay, and now what I'm doing is I am building the simple calculator. That's what we are going to do here. So let's do that. So first step is I'm going to be building the console project just like last time. That's what this is about. So let's go ahead and create that. So I'm going to call this one simple calculator console project. I have no problems with long project names. It's not a bad habit really. So let's go ahead and open Visual Studio Code, create a new project. We're building a console app, so let's select that, and then I want to go to desktop, and I want to go to, there you go, this is the one. Here I'm going to create a folder called simple calculator, right? And inside is where I want to create this project. Now before I forget, I'm going to update my readme file. Remember I told you you want to make sure that the readme file is constantly updated. So go to the readme file. A new folder is being created today, so let's update that, and I want to call this one this simple calculator. There we go. I'm just gonna add a tagline: project built to show simple input and output with a calculator theme. That's what this is about. Okay, that all looks good. Okay, yeah, that looks fine. YouTube plays tutorial web beyond basics. Oh yeah, that's already updated. Right, that part is okay. That part is okay. I'm just gonna add a learning diaries there, and okay, I think that looks fine. Yeah, I think that's okay. Okay, all right. So now let's come back here, and this one I'm going to call this simple calculator. I think I typed the name. Why am I typing it twice? That's never a good idea. Simple calculator. I hope I don't hit the Windows has like this path limit. It can get a little frustrating sometimes, but hopefully I won't hit that now. And I really end up having that problem because I have a tendency to use long folder names and stuff like that. We'll see. If we get that error, we'll worry about that if that happens. If that happens, we can move this project to a direct directory and stuff like that. We'll see later. So there we go. We have this one, and run this, and I want to make sure that this one is flying just fine. Okay, the hello world is coming. So now what I want to do is, I want to go ahead and just take two numbers and then add them up. So I'm gonna just say something like this. So I will say int, let's call this first number, right? And in the beginning let that be 10, and I want to say int second number, and I want to call this 20. So we want to do like add, subtract and all that, correct? So what I want to do is I want to go ahead and say int, I'll just create a result, and I'm going to call this one result is equal to let's keep all the numbers double, right? So let's call them double. Okay, good. And this one also double, because we will have fractional values with decimals, right? So let's keep this also as double. Now remember, in C# you have many different types. I'm just using double, because that's the one that comes to my head when I think about it. So here, this one I'm going to say is 0. Okay. Now all I want to do is I want to do the 4 math operations. So I will say first I will do addition. I'll say result is equal to first number. Yeah, the AI is trying to help, but it doesn't get everything right every time. So and here I'm going to say console.writeLine. And I don't want to do any fancy strings right now. I think we did that before, so we don't need to do it again. And I'm just going to copy paste this 4 times. By now you should know how to do this much, correct? Yeah. And multiplication and division, correct? So there we go. Now here on purpose, I'm going to add a note here. As of now, not doing any check for divide by 0. So if the program crashes, let it crash. I really don't mind. So if I run this, I should get 30 minus 10, 200, 0.5. So far, so good. So that is where you go. You go ahead and you have a very simple addition operation and stuff like that. So again, very, very simple, nothing fancy, but I'm just kind of putting the framework, the groundwork. We'll try to make this one slightly better as the videos progress and the project progress. So that's all I want to show in this specific video. So so there you go, simple calculator. I wanted to explain the concept. I've done that. We are not taking input from the user yet. We'll do that in the upcoming videos. We'll show the output. We are doing that, and it's a console project, and that is done as well. So that's all there is for this specific video. We'll continue this just like we did with the NASA APOD project and keep adding more features, right? Okay.